Shall we shift gears to the Justin Tucker conversation, Sarah, that
Yeah.
again our audience kind of gave us the helping hand on yesterday? Isaac Punts is a YouTube channel. Isaac is an NFL punting analyst. He also takes a look at kickers in this case. And as we all know, Justin Tucker has been in a funk. It was over a month ago that John Harbaugh referred to it as a technique issue, and kind of just begs the question now, having struggled from 50 plus and having missed an extra point on Sunday. What's going on with JT9? Well, Isaac, I thought Sarah did a good job of breaking down pretty much all of Justin's season so far. And while he doesn't come out and explicitly point the finger at a certain part of the operation that goes into Justin's system, maybe there is some reason to believe, based on the cases and the examples that he shares, that it's not just Justin. Listen to Isaac Punts.
I hate to be a true panic-induced reactionary YouTuber, but is it actually time to panic? Justin Tucker this season has been, God, it's almost hard to say, but almost a liability to the Ravens. If you haven't been keeping up, let me walk you back through time a bit, okay? Against the Chiefs, he missed a 53-yarder where, by all accounts, it looks like a clean snap, clean hold, and at most, if I really have to nitpick, maybe the ball is leaned back a bit, and I'm only saying that due to sort of the diagonal rotation on the ball. Next, against the Raiders from 56, he pulls it again outside the left upright. This time, the rotation on it is what we call an X ball, meaning he doesn't have that clean saw blade spin and is sort of tumbling through the air, which signifies that he didn't make great contact. But we're not done. Against the Cowboys, right middle, 46 yards. He pulls it left upright again. Notably, another diagonal rotation on the ball, a sign of not pure contact. And then Tucker against the Browns, maybe the most jarring one, 50 yards right hash, and he hits it thin diagonal rotation, and that ball would have barely made it if it were on track. But once again, it's pulled. So now we've seen 4 misses, 4 pulls, and that all have been extremely detrimental, as the Ravens lost 3 out of 4 of these games, with the field position on those misses as well as the obvious lack of points from them being a little bit crucial. But now we have the weirdest one. Against the Bengals, the Ravens scored to potentially tie the game, but first, Tucker has to make an extra point, and it's crazy we even have to question that nowadays. And if you haven't gotten the theme of this video yet, buckle in, because he pulls it. Every single miss has been outside that left upright. So now we have to answer the question that you're all on the edge of your seat for as to why, and I did a deep dive, and genuinely, it might be the holds. We can see on the Browns miss that the ball is probably supposed to be on the corner, but the snap is a little bit far out, and the ball ends up a few inches inside of Tucker's spot, where Stout tries to lean it back to compensate. Against the Raiders, the one he makes, you can see the snap and hold are money, as they're a little bit off the corner of the hash mark where Stout's fingers are, but the miss, by every look I have at the ball, is a little bit too far forward from the spot. Against the Cowboys, it almost looks like the ball is too far back, as I'm trying to be as generous as I can be with where I'm marking the potential spot to be. Then of course, last night's extra point, the snap goes wide. Stout may have overcompensated and pulled it back too far close to himself. Now, the Chiefs snap is the only one that looked like money, but it also wasn't an egregious miss and had the most normal rotation and flight path. And also, this goes without saying, but hyper zooming in on a spot does not exactly give me the most accurate account of it. So there's a chance that with the camera shake and everything like that, some of the spots may be more or less accurate than I'm giving them credit for. So don't go after Stout, because I'm sure that they have better metrics and are addressing this within the organization. But on all of the makes, the snaps have looked just about perfect. So Ravens fans, don't lose faith in Tucker yet. I'm sure that this unit is going to get it figured out.
All good, Tucker for the point after.
So Isaac Punts there makes it clear in the end, don't go after Stout. But Sarah, at the same time, there is somewhat of a trend that he's witnessing here in his misses. And we know that Justin has struggled from 50 plus. And while it hasn't necessarily come back to bite them yet, it has in some of those losses where, you know, scoring was coming at a premium. You think about Cleveland, for example. That could be one of the reasons here that Justin has always talked about for as long as he's been in this organization. And I can remember him sharing these in one-on-one conversations that I had when I was a part of the Ravens media team, Ravens radio team. It was the system. Everything is a detail-oriented system, and the system works for itself. Now, that was when he had Sam Cook with him, and that's when he had Morgan Cox. Sam has been widely regarded as the greatest holder in the history of football. Now, is that coming from folks within the Ravens organization? Yes, but at the same time, the Ravens organization from a special team standpoint, Sarah, has been highly well regarded for years and years and years for their consistency, and we all know John Harbaugh's background. So the system has changed a lot in recent years. Sam retires. He's now a consultant for the team, still around. You bring in Nick Moore as a long snapper. Jordan Stout is drafted as a punter. He becomes the holder. Nick loses all of last year to an injury. You bring in Tyler Ott to be the long snapper. He ends up having a great year for you. He leaves, Nick returns. There's been a lot of change, and you wonder if on top of Jordan's impact here, based on what Isaac is analyzing, is it a perfect storm right now with that and also just the change that they've endured as a group?
First of all, I thought it was funny at the end. I mean, I always appreciate it when somebody's like, now I could be wrong, but the way he said it was funny, where he was like, the entire video is about Stout's holding, and then he's like, but don't go after Stout. So, but I think that's his way of saying, now I could be wrong. This is just my thoughts from the outside. Obviously neither you nor I are holder experts on this, and so it's hard for me to like get into the details and technique of it. And on top of it, if you were to ask Justin Tucker, there's no way Justin Tucker would throw Stout under the bus. However, it would be nice if the media went to Stout and said, hey, what are your thoughts on Justin Tucker? This is obviously an operation, like, what's your view of it? And just see if he might say something like, I could do better holding. Because that's the only way you're going to get to the bottom of it, because nobody else is going to throw him under the bus. Or if there's more holding analysts out there all seeing the same thing, then maybe you can put some more stock into it. I mean, what he laid out there, I mean, yeah, okay, that ball doesn't look straight, or maybe it is overcompensated this way, yada, yada, yada. So it's like it sounds good, but you would just want more data points on top of it, of people pointing it out, or going to ask the source and ask Stout his thoughts on it, because nobody else is going to throw him under the bus.
Deshaun Davis just dropped us a super chat and says, all you do is kick, and you can't do that. Get someone else. It's Deshaun. It's really more than that. There is a multi-step process that you have to do perfectly before Justin can kick it through the uprights. Like it starts with a good snap from Nick Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And then the accuracy that's required for that good snap, that long snap. And then Jordan, of course, has to field, assuming that it's going to be an accurate and good snap, has to hold it properly and place it properly, all while Justin within seconds. This is all happening within seconds in real time before Justin can make impact. So it's a lot more than just Justin. And maybe, just maybe, if this is sort of the setback that they've been having, that makes me feel actually reassured that it's a lot more fixable than something like a psychological Justin Tucker setback or Justin getting older. This actually makes me feel a lot better. If it's a mechanical thing, the way that Isaac is suggesting it might be, I think that's actually a lot more fixable than the alternatives.
Yeah, and I will also say this, like Sam Cook, you probably learned this during your time covering the team, is like one of those freakishly good athletes. Obviously not, like a not like a huge tough guy. So it's not like he's an offensive or defensive lineman or a linebacker or whatever. Not the fastest dude, but like freakishly accurate at all sorts of different things. Golf. Even when they would play, why am I forgetting the name of it? The game inside the locker room that they always played. You flip the beanbag.
Oh, cornhole.
Cornhole. Jeez, my gosh. Like anything that Sam Cook could do, anything. And so there is, I mean, this is what they're paid to do, but like you're like good at punting, right? Which is like with your feet. And then all of a sudden it's like, but now you have to be great with your hands, like really quick and get the ball there and whatever. But I would really like it. I would love it if those that cover the team in the building would go ask Stout some of these questions.
Hey, and there's a reason too why they let Sam kind of hurl it every once in a while, right?
He was the emergency quarterback, and yeah.
A couple times at one point in his career, he was the most accurate passer in NFL history. You got to check that where things are right now. More super chats are coming in on this conversation, and it's one that it's a hot topic. because Justin's been doing this for a long time, been doing it at an elite level for a long time. And when he starts to kind of decide games in the opposite ways of what we're used to seeing, remember, almost, you talk about a weapon. Justin's been guaranteed to give you 1 or 2 wins per year almost since the day that he arrived. And so there has been maybe a little bit of a spoiled nature from some in the fan base because the Wolfpack was that good. I mean, Morgan Cox, Sam Cook, and Justin Tucker, Sarah, for years were known as the trio, the specialist trio that everybody else was trying to chase after. And since then, there hasn't been a consistent amount of continuity. And that's what I think was so impressive about last year, that they brought Tyler Ott in when Nick Moore went down with that season-ending injury, and he never heard his name, meaning he was doing his job. It was Justin who was struggling last year.
I will
DMB
say
Nation.
this, I think it's more though, like you were saying, I do think we have been spoiled by Justin Tucker, but it's more than that. Like if he were just only missing 56 yarders and his leg wasn't as deep as it used to be because maybe he's aging, then it's like, okay, well, we'll live with that. He's still accurate. He just can't kick, the 63 yarders anymore or something like that. And so like the Raiders one where he missed a 56, okay. And like, I don't know, an extra point, the 46 yarder against the Cowboys, like that's not spoiled. Like you got to hit 46 yarders. Like obviously you got to hit the extra points. And like, again, going suddenly from like 63 to like missing consistently around 50, like 50, 53. But the leg isn't the issue. The depth of the ball isn't the issue. Yep. It's suddenly the accuracy. And that's what's so weird about it. And then what's also weird is like, Justin Tucker might be the most confident person I've ever come across ever. Like I mean, just like his opera, he'll go and rap. Like I remember when he was a rookie, he would just stand up and rap in front of like this locker room, and like the way he taught, like he just seems so and so even that feels weird. It's like, is it in his head now? Cause it's so not Justin Tucker. So, I don't know, but with it pulling left over and over and over again, you would have to think there's something within the operation that's not right, whether it's Tucker or Stout, although the snaps look fine. But it's got to be something in the operation.